Oh! It's been a while. Not even a minute, like a whole hour. Hi friends, my name is Frederic Chen if you don't know. Remember it because you might know me from a little series I used to do called Frederic's Art Camp. Cue the intro! I haven't done this in what, 2 years maybe? I lost track. Last time was a Minecraft cat. It's beheaded, by the way. Remy, my actual cat, knocked it over when it was on a shelf, so I need to glue it back together. For those who don't know me, you may have joined recently on my channel. Hello, I'm so sorry you got to know me. Before college, I used to do a series called Frederick's Art Camp, where basically I would try to do something that is like a Minecraft cat in real life, a Minecraft painting in real life. You might see little sneak peek of it when I did it. I've done a lot of art videos and I kind of stopped doing that in college, and I'm going to explain why. I'm going into a therapy dump today. Okay, you're gonna hear all of my intrusive thoughts.
No thank you. No thank you. No thank you.
And we're gonna make a Minecraft block because why not? And y'all will hopefully get to understand the beauty of Frederick's Art Camp, which is seeing someone struggle for maybe 30 minutes. You get to live vicariously through my pain. So you're welcome. This is the tutorial of what not to do. I've always said that. I'm not an art tutorial. Don't take my advice. Watch it to see what you shouldn't do. Without further ado, y'all know the title. We're gonna make a Minecraft block in real life. The Minecraft grass block, specifically the logo. It feels right. You know, you haven't done it in so long, might as well do the big one, the iconic logo. Also, yes, I'm not wearing pants. That's why this table is balancing on my thighs, because they're fucking thick. So, get out your ruler. The only thing I could find was a tape measure. Get out a pencil, and get ready to spend some money, because you're gonna need a lot of wooden blocks. Step 1, get a wooden block. Actually, step 1 is have a dad who can build this, or a mom, or someone, you know, in your life. Usually I take 1-inch wooden blocks and then glue it all together, and people have always told me, Frederick, just make one from a big wooden plank. Okay, let's see you do that. Let me just casually shit a Minecraft cat rendition out of my ass really quick because, yeah, it's that easy. No, okay? Everything I've made so far is three-dimensional. Well, they're all three-dimensional. It's not just something with 6 faces. It's multi-dimensional. There's a lot of different facets, if you will. But Minecraft blocks are just a square. So this is very easy to make. If you can find wooden planks, go to Home Depot. You'll find it if you try. I'll link one from Amazon that I'm pretty sure is around a similar size, and it's hollow, so you can store stuff. Usually I glue cubes together because, in my opinion, it looks better when you paint the cubes before gluing. It doesn't matter how skilled you are, you will not be able to paint a perfectly straight line on just this. So it's already like going to look a little bit not perfect. It may be more tedious, but I always recommend painting your cubes before you glue them together. So pick and choose your struggles. I picked telling my dad, can you make me a wooden block? And he was like, sure. And he did this in a day somehow. How did he do it? Don't ask me. I literally was not paying attention, and the next day this just happened to be on my desk. And I was like, how did you do that? And he said, Frederick, I'm an engineer, unlike you who graduated from engineering school. Like, oh. Okay, Dad, you want to fight? You can probably see how he built it. So first up, we need to trace this because I'm not painting on a pixel without a guideline. So the vanilla Minecraft block, the OG, our favorite, we all know them to be 16 by 16 pixels. So you're going to have to divide whatever your cube is into 16 even squares. So this is... it's almost 7.5 inches. It's not quite. I'm going to deem it 7.3 inches. 7.3 inches is how many centimeters? 18.5 centimeters. That does not help. None of this is helping. Oh, I can see the centimeters on the... Why did I just look that up? I don't know what the little ridges mean. Oh my god, this is so hard. I'm doing it. I'm counting every single ridge. 1 second. There's 118 little divots between this and this. 118 divided by 8 then? Oh, it's 14.75. Now I'm going to draw my lines. So let's just get into it. Let's answer all your burning, nasty, dirty questions. Why'd you stop making art videos? Frederick, we want more art videos. Guess what? So did I. And also this sucks. And it's not such a simple answer as I didn't feel like it, I didn't have the time. There's a lot more going on. So to give y'all some context, the first thing was I did have college. It was just more difficult to do these art videos to balance the time because I don't think people realize this takes time. I think that painting right there took 6 months, and people would message me like, Frederick, how did you do that in 6 months? I've been working on it for a year. It's hard to motivate yourself to paint that many pixels. Besides time, It was my location. I lived with a lot of roommates usually. I live with my boyfriend now, but for the most part, Remy. Oh, sweet. Oh, honey, we can't do this. This is the one who knocked over my other cat, by the way, the Minecraft cat. Besides time, I didn't really have the best location. I require a lot of space, okay? I'm a very... This is a lot for anyone to deal with. And it's mainly just because I require a camera, a filming area, obviously. Quiet time. It's currently 3 a.m. One of these is too... No, Frederic, don't get in your head. I wasn't in the best spaces to record, let's just say, because it would not be convenient for me to tell my roommates, hey, don't socialize, don't be a human for like 5 hours, please, I need to record. And then there's the final thing, my mental.
Seatbelts, everyone!
One of these is too big. What's going on? Alright, we're changing everything. We're changing the whole thing again. We're erasing all my progress. I don't like it. This is why I use a pencil, by the way. When I was making these videos, it wasn't that I wasn't confident with what I made, but I would beat myself up about everything I was building. Yes, I'm used to hate comments. Like, I've lived on YouTube for 7 years. I can handle a comment about my sexuality. People who comment that, I know are living an insecure life. But it's another thing to get a comment about how your art isn't really art, or you're not that good at painting, you're not a good drawer, you're not a good animator. Really? You listen here. I love you. I love you, Remy. But you're very annoying sometimes. I've already grown up with insecurity just because I come from a background where your parents push you to do everything everywhere all at once. And I required a lot of external praise to feel successful. Like, you know, you had to get straight A's to even feel like you did something in life. You needed your parents to tell you you're proud of you, which rarely they do. You couldn't just rely on your friends because you would always say, oh, they're your friends, of course they're gonna say that. And we never tell it to ourselves, at least I didn't. And every time I would do art, because I'm always self-taught, like I didn't go to art school, I didn't major in painting or any of this stuff. I would always feel like as someone who was self-taught that I wasn't really good. I would always say, oh, you're copying something that's already been done. Bam. You're making something that's already existing. Bam. You can't think of anything original, Frederic, so you're not really an artist. I lived with that all the time when I was making these videos. And it didn't help that when I got into college, I decided to major in design, and that required you to do original things. Not that I couldn't, but I would always compare myself. I mean, we all do. I would always see things around myself like, oh my god, this person can do so many things with coding. This person can make so many good websites. Yeah, I can take a photo or two, I guess. I would downplay my own work. I would shit on myself basically every day. So it would turn into this battle within my head, like I need to prove myself to my other colleagues and my professor that yes, I am good enough. Yes, I am talented. I can do stuff. By the way, this whole time, no one's telling me this. I'm the only one saying my work is shit. I'm the only one telling me you're not good at this stuff. So it just reflected on YouTube as well. It turned into this thing of I need to make sure I can do everything on YouTube to prove that yes, I am talented on YouTube, because I have a bad relationship with numbers and just my self-worth online. I know I'm confident like in person, like I'm confident with myself, you know, all this is very correct, I know that. But in terms of like who I am on YouTube, can I make an impact? I would always just say, you're not the best artist on YouTube, these people exist. You're not the best entertainer, Jenna Marbles exists. You're not the best pianist, there's piano channels. You're not the best cook, you're not the best Asian, you're not the best commentary channel, you're not the best at fashion. So what are you, Frederic? What is your talent online? And then I would not be able to answer that. So of course I go down this spiral of I'm going to do literally everything I can on YouTube to prove I can last on YouTube, to prove that yes, I am good enough. And as always, no one is telling me this. It's just myself. And another thing, I got scared I would be boxed in. I really got scared that I would turn into, you're the Minecraft painting kid. Oh, you're the gay Asian art kid on YouTube. I never liked the idea of like having a niche on YouTube. I've always wanted to follow the path of Jenna Marbles, which was like, do whatever the fuck you want and upload it. Be selfish. And even then I had to realize like, that is a niche. Variety itself is a category. So why are you trying to give up your favorite thing to do, Frederic, which is art and making stuff, in order to feel better about yourself? There is some type of magic in these videos I'm making where I just have the most fun painting. I have the most fun with creating, with doing things with my hands. Don't take that the wrong way. And I felt like we had the most sense of community on the channel when I made these videos. By the way, this is what it looks like so far. Pretty even, I say. It's not perfect, probably. Oh wait, I lost my lines. Is it perfect? Probably not, but literally I got bored of measuring. I started eyeballing it. But sometimes your eyes are the best tool. Like if people can make a whole meal without even having to measure, I can do this, I feel like. And I'm not saying this, by the way, to ask for pity. No one's words is gonna help me. This is my own journey in terms of like trying to say, Frederic, stop calling yourself shitty. Be more proud of yourself. I would just like y'all to be aware, because even though I can be insecure about my own work, I'm also an open book because I can't stop talking. So there you go. There's my life. And I miss doing these videos. Every day, like some people may think I forgot about art videos. Every day, I would think to myself, I wish I could be making these art videos. I wish I had the time to do this. I would say, I feel so bad because I promised I would make a pixel art version of myself on painting if this got 1 million views, that painting right there. And it did. Thank you for that. But I would feel bad because I was like, I don't want people to think I'm some liar, that I'm some flake. It's just, I was too insecure to do it because I was not proud of my own work. I'm proud of the things I did. Like obviously that looks beautiful to this day. But I wasn't necessarily proud of like content I put out. Because then 2 weeks later I would look at that and be like, Frederic, it's just the painting of a painting that's pixelized. But enough about that negativity. I'm past that. I know I should just work on myself and be more confident with who I am. So that's where I am today. And I just want to do this. Like, I want to be able to do this. I have the free time too. Speaking of which, when I graduated, I would still excuse myself and be like, ugh, this isn't the best workspace. We're moving soon. I might as well just wait. And I would still find these excuses to push it off. Like even today, I would say, this isn't my best setup. Like I would like to decorate the background with posters. And at some point I just had to say, Frederic, shut the fuck up. Make the painting, please. Only you care about putting 5 posters in the background that no one's gonna pay attention to. Dad, I love you, but this is not a perfect square. So I'm hopeful once I do more of these, my audience, either I'll find a new audience or the people who've unsubscribed find me again. And I hope y'all see that I'm happier now than like, what, 2 years ago? I would hope I'm happier now than back then. Otherwise, we've made no progress in life. We've wasted all our time. Nothing matters. And I still can't finish this freaking outline because I keep messing up. I'm counting 7 when it should be 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks like a square. It feels like a square, but it's not measuring like a square. Nothing's fucking working. Oh my fucking god. Oh my fucking god. This looks very wrong. Oh my god. That's a rectangle at that point. Ooh. This is the first face, by the way, of 6 that I have to do. I'm like shutting off a centimeter at a time, waiting for one of these to line up. And even if it isn't perfect, by the way, like don't stress so much about that. It'll look fine far away. No one's gonna come that close to it. And if they are, tell them to back up. Oh, this looks really bad. This does not look right. Oh my god. Can you tell what I've made? It's not terrible, but like the square on this side is around a centimeter shorter than the square on this side. I will Mod Podge all of this so that it does seal in because I've made the mistake too many times of painting over pencil. It mixes. Don't do it. It's also a good idea to Mod Podge. Look how much this table's shaking. Just because when you paint on wood that isn't sealed, it tends to absorb paint a lot. I'm okay with that. It actually looks much better now that I've like evened it all out. Now let's do the other side. Theoretically, these should all eventually connect together because what I'm going to do is I'm going to reference the face before. This is a face, by the way. Say hi to it. I'm lining up the lines that I used before and we're just going to retrace again. Obviously do this in pencil just to be safe. The good thing though with the tape measure is you can just go over the face. And if you have a good grip, you could just do this. You know what I mean? And also if you have any ideas of what I should do next time, always let me know. I will respectfully consider it and talk to myself and say, how long will this drain my life? Will I go to therapy afterwards? And how much does it cost me? What? This is the perfect face. This is this perfectly like, oh my god, what is happening? This makes no sense. It's a block. Why would it be different? When I did these marks, they look like actual they look like actual squares. They look symmetrical. This is basically the perfect face, the most perfect face I'll be able to get. Why was that first face so difficult? It only fits 7 on one side, but 8 on the other side, which doesn't make sense. That was really bad tracing, Frederic. You could do much better. Oh, there's a bump. Oh, there's a freaking bump on this block, that's why. Is it sad that this is like the first pencil I've used in maybe 2 years? Okay, I think y'all get the gist of what I'm supposed to do. I'm gonna fast forward and get all the faces. Oh my god, I have 4 more to go! By the time you do 2 faces next to each other, you should be able to do the rest just by connecting them. And if they don't line up, this game is rigged. I actually want to see. I want to test if it'll line up. I'll time-lapse this for y'all. So just as predicted, when I went and I reached the other side by tracing around, It's off by a little bit, but just like one of them. I think it's just I wasn't able to draw straight. Basically, it's not straight. It's not straight. It's not straight.
They're not straight.
It's not straight. I thought I forgot. I said that every time. Somehow I said that every time in an art video. And you know what? I'll be consistent with that. I'll keep doing it if I can. Okay, so it turns out it is easier when you reach the last face where you have like this one connected and this one connected. Go over and then connect both lines so that you don't have to worry about being off-centered. And they theoretically should align straight. Moment of truth is when we do the other side. Because for all we know, this could turn into every square is off. And they're suddenly all just like parallelograms. Okay, so every single face has its own little guy. It's 4 a.m. I'm tired. I'm trying to think about how I want to Mod Podge it though. I say Mod Podge, it's just a faster way of saying it. What do y'all say? And will you cancel me because I said Mod Podge? Want to see a little something I made in college? Isn't that cute? And I laser cut it, and guess what? It all opens up. This was my paint palette back in college. It's messed up. So this is Mod Podge. It has a ton of different uses. I forgot all the uses, but basically I'm just gonna use this to coat everything to make sure that the pen is sealed in. I don't have to worry about it bleeding anywhere, and it just makes for a smoother base in general. There is also another thing you can use for that that's more white base. I think it's called gesso. I don't want to use that because I won't be able to see my markings as well. If you want this, I'll link it. Oh, this has been sealed. I can't use this. Well, actually, I can't. If I just like rip, yeah, there we go. Reuse your sponges and wash them if you can. How is it sticky? Excuse me? It's been in there for like 4 years. How is it sticky? I'm just gonna, oh, is that a lot? I can't really tell. Oh my god, there's eraser shavings on here. Oh my god, no. Get it off. Try to go in a straight line. Like, you can go back and forth to make sure you get both sides, but none of this swirling shit. Why? How would you do that to yourself? Do you hate yourself? Don't answer that question. Spraying is better if you have a spray. Also, I've never really used Mod Podge as a base, so I'm curious to see how it feels because I don't necessarily think my spray that's a glossy finish will look as good. And I've heard Mod Podge is very universal, so I just want to know, is it worth the hype? Because I don't think I've ever used it. I just bought it and I've always had it because I heard everyone uses it. Oh, actually, do I even need to paint one face since it's gonna be sitting? I think for the sake of this video I should paint all of it, but I'm not too worried about the side I'm not going to paint, so I'm going to leave that un-Mod Podge until tomorrow at least. Like, I will do it tomorrow, but I'm not going to sit here and wait for this whole thing to dry just so I can paint another side. No, I want sleep. There's eraser shavings getting everywhere. Please, 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 please. No, no, no. Drip. Oh, oh. Ooh. Oh, got on my fingy. Got on my fingy. Ew, ew. God damn. God damn. It looks fine to me. I just need to let it dry overnight. So we'll be back tomorrow in sunlight, hopefully. Good night. See you tomorrow. Oh, it's good. Oh, it looks suspicious. That's all I'm gonna say.
Day 2.
Okay, so it's been a minute. 2 seconds for you. A week for me. Last time I did anything with this was last week. I'm home now. I was coming here anyways, but I thought, why not bring a whole suitcase worth of my art stuff just so we can have a nostalgic moment. This is where it all started. Was it? No, that was our old apartment. Never mind. But this is where like Frederic's art camp started. And of course, we needed an offensive amount of sunflowers because it's still my favorite flower. And I did all this makeup for y'all. You're welcome. Probably wondering, Frederic, what the heck is this contraption thing? This is going to be our second camera angle. 3, 2, 1. And we're synced. And the nails match, just so you know, the makeup matches. So we're just gonna get back into it. Last time, I'm pretty sure we Mod Podged all of this, and it works. I tried erasing these markings off, nothing happened. So we're gonna start off with this. And we're using square, flat brushes. Nothing else. I don't care what you have. I also brought all paint. I need it. Look at how we match. This is the paint I'm using. It lasts you decades, so if you want it, I will link it as well. And if this wasn't enough already for you, we're gonna be doing even more sunflowers. This used to be a sunflower, and now there's like 10 layers of paint, but it's the memories we made. I'm gonna fill this up with water, and we're gonna get into it. I already bet I'm going to knock this over because it's balancing on the very edge. You're gonna find basically the flat version so you can see all the sides, and that way you can tell what you're gonna be painting on. It also really doesn't matter. Like, if y'all remember the Minecraft painting I made, the skull one, at some point I just gave up because you don't tell, no one's gonna be able to know that shade of green isn't the actual one. So I have this on the app Procreate because it's just easy for you to be like, hey, we checked this one off, hey, we checked this part off. And now we're gonna go. Wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Was it always this many blocks? Hold on. 15, 16. Was a grass block always 16? No. No. Wait, what the fuck? What did I just do? You mean to tell me that I am supposed to double this all around? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's. Oh, say, can you see? I know people were yelling at me. I don't know what conclusion I went through last week where I thought, it's 8, Frederic. 8 by 8. Of course it's 16. Of course it's 16 for. Why would I think less? Do I even have a ruler? Like, I was in such a good mood. It just went fully down. No, this is so unfair. This is so unfair. This can take forever. What the fuck? I literally don't have a ruler, so I'm using a piece of mail I used to have. Because who sends mail nowadays? Like, ugh. This does not include the P.O. box, by the way. Oh no. See, oh. Ooh, everything looks so ugly. Nothing is a square anymore. None of these are squares. None of these are perfect squares. I literally had it at some point. And now I fucked it up. Of course I would make this type of mistake, right? It's not like, oh, you painted the wrong side. No, actually, I wouldn't do that mistake as well. No, I don't even have step 1 complete. Anyways, it's fine because you already have 8 by 8. So if you do 16 by 16, it's just cut each of them in half, right? It's not just gonna multiply into something else. It's not gonna be 17 somehow. Oh, it's actually gross. It's gross, y'all. None of these are perfect. Oh my God. I really need a ruler. This is not ideal. I'm too lazy to get my dad though, so I'm not doing it. This was just one side. Look, this is what it's supposed to look like, okay? See the difference? See the difference. Wow. This is actually gonna take so long. Because at first I was like, oh, this is not that many squares. This is child's play for me. Nope. We're literally doubling the amount of time it'll take. Don't mind me, I'm just spiraling because I'm making it more ugly each time. I can't physically fathom why I have more space now. Originally, when we did the 8 by 8, I said I couldn't even fit 8 squares. Now, it looks like they're all not squares. Like, oh my God, what is happening? That does not make sense. Mathematically incorrect. Also, never use mail. Like, this sucks. I'm doing this really badly. 0 out of 10 for the mail straight edge. The squares can't hurt you. They're just squares. It's enough to make a man cry. I've never seen squares look so ugly. Thank you so much. This better fucking look good in the end because I'm gonna be pissed. 2 down. Papa, you make a ruler. I got a ruler. I can't do it. I literally was going crazy, y'all. Oh, beautiful. Wow, Frederic. Nothing can hurt you, Frederic. You're in a safe space. What are you scared of? The block? Oh, that one's ugly. Oh, that was an ugly one. Okay, maybe it would help if you tried to align the 2 things you have before. Like I made 2 markings on the end and then I just connected them. That seemed easier. Okay, because now you can tell where the middle is. Because this ruler is not transparent, so I don't see the other side. That's a Taylor Swift reference for you. So if you do like a little marking, you can eyeball it. Unless you're someone who just doesn't know how to eyeball the middle of something, that's fine. I can't say shit after all the mistakes I've made so far. Actually, I'm not convinced that I didn't know it was 16 by 16. I want to roll back the tape, like roll it back and see where did I say that. We all know them to be 16 by 16 pixels. So you're going to have to divide whatever your cube is into 16 even squares. There's just no way I told myself this is fine. I just refuse to believe. I played Minecraft for like 8 years. I don't believe it. I'm not convinced. This pen's running out. That's not allowed. Oh! Sorry. Somehow my block became a slip and slide. Be at peace. Inner peace! Inner peace! Oh, there's one face left. Oh, I'm so happy. Oh, wait. That's a really ugly square. I need to fix that. Alright, we're done. It wasn't so bad. Now that my hands are covered in ink as well, I'm not gonna touch this shirt. This shirt was expensive. Let me bring you back, you bitch. Okay, so like I was saying, okay, so I'm going to reference this in terms of the colors, except they don't have to be exact, first of all. Just make sure they're varied enough. So, like, trust me, it'll be fine. This looks no different from this, you know? Basically, you just want a guide about what colors you should be using. I prefer a grass block that isn't as piss yellow looking. You know what I mean. You know exactly what I mean when I tell you lime green is the bane of everyone's existence. I was even debating adding some blue in here because I just prefer a more evergreen color, but that is not the genuine Minecraft grass block, so I'm not going to do that today. Also keep in mind, unless this is white, your colors will look darker after it dries. Like, this is the base. I'm a terrible explainer. Let's think about this in terms of makeup, okay? You take someone who is that skin tone and then take someone who's a very dark brown. If you put green on top of each of these colors, one will be brighter than the other, unless you have a base, such as white concealer or an eye base. So same thing goes for here. When you put green on a white canvas, it'll show up even brighter. But if it's on this, it'll all be darker, which is what I like. As always, you can do a patch test. No one cares. Wow, y'all, this looks great. I love how long this is taking. Oh my god. I can't wait to paint 80 layers and do it all over again. This lime green, you can tell. You can see through it. It's not lime green. It's lime green with some spruce wood underneath. I don't know what type of wood it is. I'm pretty sure this is oak. I also did say I don't want to see paint marks, but this is already crunchy enough just because it's on wood that isn't perfect wood. So I should not bother anymore. I should just get it over with. Okay, second layer is great. Second layer did that. I'm also not a big fan of wiping your brush every time before painting the next color because we'll actually do a series where y'all get to vote the next block, I guess. Don't just say Ender Dragon like I can do that with my time. I can, but let me start out small, y'all. Let me start out easy, please. I've also stopped referencing it because I looked at it for a clean second. It's all random. Maybe I will give in to temptation and add some white because that will make it very opaque. You know when paint dries, usually it's like bendy, especially when it's acrylic. It's only when it's acrylic, I mean. But white paint, always for me, it just crumbles. Like, I don't know why it does that. But there is something that white paint does that makes every other color thick. Some people have asked me like, Frederic, I can't paint straight. And I'm like, well, 1, you're gay. 2, you could just be bad. And that's okay. We need bad people in life so that good people exist. I'm kidding, I'm kidding. The main reason is most people, they're not focusing on trying to make their hand balanced. If you paint like this, it's gonna shake more. Balance it on something. So I'm convinced. Okay. I'm pretty sure people who use chopsticks are just gonna have a better time at this because it's just easier. I can see the streaks of the Mod Podge. Don't Mod Podge. Forget I ever did that. We should not have done that. Because I was like, what is making those ugly lines? Also, I find it really stupid and inconvenient that I used the sponge brush for the Mod Podge and it still gave me streaks. That doesn't make any sense. When you put on makeup and you use a beauty sponge, that doesn't give you streaks. A brush does. So why did it do that for this? Okay, I'm starting to paint a little faster than I'm used to, so I'm physically slowing myself down because I know what happens when I speed up. Disaster. That's all you need to know. Oh my god, I love this. I love painting on a surface that looks like my face back in high school. Like, what is this? I've never seen something look so not smooth. Okay, we're going backwards for a second. Rewind. I noticed it and it's starting to annoy me. That is not a perfect square. Why did I have to grow up like this? Why couldn't I just be someone who's like, oh, it's not perfect? That's fine. Oh, it's so bad. I can see the pen mark. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I didn't think it would show up like that. No. No! I'm not gonna let a fucking pen have this much power over me. Get out! Get out of my life! I don't see a world where painting on something is better than painting the block first. I don't even think doing tape works because if you put tape here, it just rips it off. I don't even think putting tape down works because you're ripping off the paint after. For those of you who think washi tape works as well, don't. It rips off the paint after. And there's no point in putting it on the other side because then you're gonna mess it up again. Paint the cubes first and then glue it together. You will be so much more satisfied and you will never have to look at something and be like, I made a mistake there. Would you rather something look perfect and take more time or look unperfect and take maybe 2 hours less, you know? Because when you're painting just a regular cube, you don't have to think. There's no thinking, it's easy. This is stress. This is trying to make every line perfect 80,000 times. No, I don't care what anyone says. You haven't lived my life. Until someone else has gone through all of the builds I've done, don't say anything. You don't know my story. You don't pour my cereal. Why are there streaks, yo? Why are there streaks? Fucking Mod Podge is the worst thing ever invented. I said it. I said it. I'm debating. Do I even bother going backwards? Is it worth my mental? I'm literally gonna make this block and then put it on like a shelf and it'll sit there for the rest of my life. So I feel like as long as I don't look at it ever again in life, I'll be fine. I can't go back and do every single color again. That is not worth it. No, but like, why did I go back already? I already went back. I already did what I said I wouldn't do. I'm already going back. Now that we've gone back, let's just keep going back. Here we go. Welcome to my tutorial of how not to do this. I forgot that blocks are the same color around the side because it's 3D. So that means I have to paint all these edges again. Oh my god, I can't wait. I have 3 layers. I have 3 layers, y'all. This will take me forever. This is just kombucha and sparkling water. I wish I had alcohol because I need something to get me through tonight. So I might time lapse this because I don't think anything else is gonna happen. Let me see if I can do like this all in one day, just the top, and get back to you, okay? Time lapse begin. Yes, I'm wearing boxers. Shut up. So, it's been 3 hours. Your initial thoughts might be, Frederic, what have you done? What have you been doing this past 3 hours? Well, let me tell you. Let me just explain. I was not okay with any of the colors that were happening. Once it all dried, and I literally said this in the video too, I'm eating my own words. Paint dries darker no matter what. And when it's on something that isn't a white canvas, it dries even darker. So I underestimated how dark it would be. Next time, do a patch test on the bottom, please. And once I did the first 3 rows, I said, there's a lot of shit brown and there's a lot of dark green, and that is not what a grass block looks like. It will look off-putting once you finish it. So I went back. I changed the color palette, so basically I mixed everything that was in the initial tube and it came out this really good green actually. It's a perfect color. Putting a little bit of brown helps because it just makes it less green, if that makes sense. It's less saturated. And when I was repainting, it turned into, well, this square isn't perfect. Let me just repaint that. Oh, actually, now that I've repainted that square, the square next to it also doesn't look perfect. So let's repaint that. So it turned into, let's redo the first 3 rows. Mind you, it still doesn't look good. Like from this angle, sure. But if I get uncomfortably close to you, you see the mistakes. Like anyone who is, sorry, I'm getting queasy just reliving this. Anyone who is a perfectionist sees it. And especially when it's your own work, I'm looking this close at it for 3 hours. Of course I see it. So I may have gotten a little carried away. And this is why you should not let me paint by myself. I need Joey here. He's the one who can stop me and be like, Frederic, chill out. No one's gonna see this but you. And you're gonna hang this on a shelf. Stop thinking so hard. So yes, I did repaint everything. Am I satisfied with it still? No, but the colors do look better. So I do recommend using a lot more yellow than you might think. Go lighter than you need to. Like, don't be afraid to make very light marks like that. Think of a creeper, right? We want creeper, not zombie. We want grass, not dirt. I went ahead and marked where the grass ends on each side, and there's actually a pattern that you can follow once you look at it. It goes 3 2 3 3 4 1 3 2 4 3 4 3 2 3 3 2. Every side has the same pattern and it's the same color. So once I finish this top part, and looking back, we could have done this in a much efficient way. Basically, this color in the corner is the same as this color in the corner, which is the same as this color and the same as this color. But I don't like doing that just because I will see it. I want the top of this to be all randomized. I don't care what the sides look like. You can only see 2 sides max. Once I finish this top layer, instead of going back and waiting for it to dry so I can paint the second layer, because they all need second layers still, I went back, I saw the marks, I saw the wood marks. While I'm waiting for this end to dry, I can move on to the next end and the next end.
And the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day.
Because I am ready to go to sleep. And I know I can't finish this in a day, but I still wanted to. It's not happening. It's fine. Maybe it'll take 2 days, a week, a month even, who cares? I just wanted to be more efficient for y'all. That's why I make the mistakes, so you hopefully don't have to. And the first step is, don't do this. Okay, don't do any of this. Get yourself some wooden blocks. I'll link them for you. Do the math on how many blocks you'll need. Paint every single one and then glue them together. Because it'll look perfect. Let me tell you, it will look perfect. It may not glue perfectly, but I'd rather, personally, the paint look perfect than the shape look perfect. Because it'll still be a cube. It's just not like perfectly on the side, but you won't even tell because the paint makes those lines anyways. And the point of pixel art is for it to be perfect. So that's my opinion. From now on, starting now until my hands fall off from painting, we're going to be painting first and then gluing. I can't do this anymore. I love my dad for making it. I was very confident with myself that I could do it, and I'm not confident anymore. But sometimes we need to be humbled like that. I'm gonna go ahead and keep time-lapsing this because I've made enough mistakes that I know what to do, and I'm going to call it a night after I finish the grass. If I can't even do that, I'll be streaming this too because I miss talking to people. I've been in this room for 3 hours, y'all. I'm losing it. I'm losing it. All right. We're done for now. Did I complete it? Technically, no. But it doesn't look bad. I will say, like, pixel art looks better the more you do it. And while it's not perfect looking, it's good enough for me. If you are this close to it, step the fuck back. I don't want to see you spit. I don't want your breath on it. Okay, this is my painting. And I'm going to make sure my cats can't reach it once I put it wherever I want to. But I also figured out some things along the way, like The Mod Podge, once again, worst mistake I've ever made. Never do that again. Also, painting an initial layer of just green helps the second layer work better because since painting this first layer, I have not had to go back and be like, oh, it's still, I can still see the wood. Also, don't outline in pen. I was very frustrated when I was outlining, so I like literally dug into the wood. You can sort of see the marking, which kind of helps in my favor because it just helps define the pixels more. Not the best when it's in black. Like, I'd say go for a green, maybe? I did the layers on all the other sides. Like, you can tell it's a grass block. I mean, from far away, like, it's already wood down here. It's kind of getting there. I'm also kind of losing my voice somehow. I haven't even done anything today. I'm gonna go to bed. We'll do this tomorrow with a fresh mind, a better mindset, and hopefully at least 8 hours of sleep. That's not happening, by the way, because I will be playing Animal Crossing at 5 a.m. Thank you very much. It's currently 1:18 a.m. So, good night. SpongeBob clip or something?
Day 3.
Alright, new day, new mindset. I thought this wouldn't dry in a day. I was... it's like slimy. I mean, this might be appealing. Get it? Appealing? Let me shut up. This might be like some kind of satisfying. I don't get how acrylic paint works, but like it took off the paint from underneath, which is, I know it does that. I just don't get how it works. Oh, let me do this to my brain. I want my brain to physically feel what this feels like. I don't know what they would take away from my brain. Maybe the part that makes me mad in life. Maybe the part that makes me sad in life. Maybe just, maybe all the parts. Maybe the part that holds me back in life. So I put these coffee filters underneath. I put these coffee filters over it, and then I just put some water drops on there because I like thought it would keep it moist. I underestimated how much it would dry in like a day. Does my voice sound low? Is my voice lower than normal? What is happening? Oh my god. It might be because I'm tired. And it's not that I'm not getting enough sleep. I've been sleeping in more, which is worse for you apparently. Okay, let me just not catch up in life then. Oh, look at that. Oh, I'm gonna look at this with a fresh mind. Okay, still not satisfied. I'm just gonna focus on getting... you know, the more I look at the sides, the worse it gets. But I'm actually very happy with the front. Like, I definitely got this part. I don't know what I was doing on the side. Like, some of these, you can just see the pen marks. It's not a cute look. I'm not gonna focus on that yet. I'd rather just get the top part done. So what I'm gonna do, we're gonna time-lapse probably because I don't see myself messing up again. I don't feel that in my fantasy. Messing up is no longer a good look on me. Because yesterday I wore a really cute, expensive sunflower shirt, and now I'm wearing a not so expensive sunflower shirt that I no longer wear because paint got on my sleeve and I don't even know when. I don't know how, but it's there. I got the stain out after like an hour, so we're just going to... I can't believe I'm still doing this. I just want people to see how... Ooh, I need to distract some people. Some of y'all need to see some juicy lips. And I'm just gonna finish all the grass and then, oh wait, while we're here. Oh. Alright, the paint's done. Let me just get ready. Ooh. I'm gonna time-lapse this from like an overhead view this time.
Day 4.
Is this day 3? 4? Oh my god. Maybe it's because I've been playing Animal Crossing at like literally 5 a.m. I'm losing all tracks of time. Like, I can't explain. I just realized. I'll explain this soon. I just realized, like, it's been, what, 4 days since I've been doing this? I didn't follow up. Someone sent 100 rubber ducks to my P.O. box from Twitch stream, that's all. I was driving today, and I saw a school bus. Ew, that's weird. I can't believe summer's gone. That sucks. I'm so sorry you have to deal with that. New day. I'm wearing yet another yellow shirt, but also I will let this one get dirty if it does. There's no way I let this dry with paint on it. This is my favorite brush. If I remember correctly, nail polish remover / acetone gets rid of this. Wow, that works really well. Hold on. The rubber ducks are here because it is the only thing I found that would be malleable enough to pack this in, because this also has my paint. The big reveal. The paint is still wet and juicy. Too bad I'm actually done with the paint. So I don't know why I did that. I think I'm just gonna use the brown then? Actually, why did I keep my paint? Maybe it's because I wanted it to thicken up because I know it'll be more opaque. But now that this is dried, let me give you a good close-up of it. I know it's not perfect. Don't remind me. I did take a longer time yesterday just because I once again fell back into my usual groove of like repainting things I don't need to paint. Oh my god, this square is like 89 degrees instead of 90 degrees. This green is a little bit too piss yellow. Fix it. And I have to remind myself, like, it is only me judging me. It's not like I have to win something. There's no winning in this. I'm the loser in all of these situations. And also, If you ever get mad at yourself for like making a mistake, just know that like treat it as a lesson. Now you know not to do that again. And also, every painting has a mistake from the artist themselves. I can look back at every single thing I've made in life and find an error and be like, hey, I made the error. It's what makes it unique from any other person who does it. That's why every single person who makes their own will look different. It's just me trying to justify my mistakes at this point, okay? Let me live. Find beauty in your mistakes. Because if every mistake is beautiful, then y'all are beautiful. Because you're all mistakes. It's okay, I can say that. I was also a mistake, technically. If you know what that means, you know. So we're gonna do the brown now. And this time I'm actually going to reference it just because there's a little bit of shading. A grass block, it has darker colors underneath the grass to mimic shade, which is actually very smart. I do appreciate that. Also, there's like random grayish, blu-rayish. There's some of those throughout. I think that's supposed to be gravel. Because back then, because back then, gravel used to be like a little different. I was there. Once again, I need to remind everyone who are new, I was there in the alpha version. I don't want to hear anyone talk about what is what and who is what and you know what is what. The colors are all the same, so I actually will do the same on all sides. I know I said I would do that for the grass. I lied. I'm a liar. I'm sorry. This should be easy. The block actually has the similar colors around it, so I don't necessarily have to do a different shade of brown each time. I don't know why I brought this blue. I think part of me was like, maybe I want my grass to be a little more blue-green. This was the last color I brought. I literally only brought these colors. Look at me. Are y'all not impressed? Is no one impressed? Let's start off with this dark brown. So I'm going to slowly add black into brown. Also, if you're wondering why it's so messy here, it's just because I have been trying to paint over those pen marks. Because remember when I first did them? Yeah, no. It's still showing up on some of the colors. Maybe if you just paint a dark block, like if you paint obsidian, you'll be fine. But God forbid you try to paint like white wool and use a black pen. I don't remember shading this much. You know, I did eat a mooncake. And did y'all know that's actually like 400 calories? 400. It's a mooncake. Okay, so I think I'm actually going to paint this all over. It's like here and also here. I'm pretty sure this dark brown color has to be the same for anything underneath. Like it is just the darkest color that you'll see. And some people might think like, I want to do different dark brown shades for every single color so that it doesn't look like they're repeating or that they're next to each other. I don't think you want to do that because sometimes when all the colors are different, it does look confusing to the eye. Most Minecraft blocks, they have at least one shade next to another shade. Gay Jesus will not be there to save you if you mess up this part. If there's a slanted line, even a curve, I will show up in your room and haunt you till I die. Oh my god, we're playing fucking Tetris at this point. Oh god, I just looked at how much I painted. Now I have to somehow avoid that. Watch yourself, okay? If this touches anything else, if you got a doo-doo stain here and then it gets onto the grass block, you're done. Have fun with that. Look at the difference it made already. Now I'm just going to paint from this side to this side. All the little blocks I put down. I am going to go back and do a second layer because I see the wood. Maybe I'll just get this blue out of the way. Okay, well that's borderline green. Add a little bit of black and there you go. See, this is my fucking life. I think this is the first shade we're gonna go with. So there's one right here, like squat there. Painting these ones where it's like you're surrounded by 3 other cubes that have already been painted, that's the worst. Problem now is I'm going to have to somehow either replicate this color on all 4 sides or I just have to paint them now so that I don't have to replicate this color ever again. The issue with that is some of these are in some really inconvenient spaces like this one. If I paint this, I have to paint this square somehow, which honestly, it's not that bad now that I say that because it's just 1 block. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. 4, 3, 4. Under this 3, there's this. It's here. My logic, man. It's almost dead center with the 4. So where these 2 line up, right there, bam. Let me also add another layer because I see the pen. Now that we've done all 4, I'm going to go back one more time just to make sure they're all happy. Now we're gonna do the light gray, so I'm gonna add a little bit more white. Just want everyone to know I will not be double checking if I actually did this correctly on all of them because I don't want to relive the trauma. I don't want to know if any of them are wrong, and if one of them is wrong, don't tell me. Let me rest. All right, that's all the grays. We'll call this dark chocolate. This is milk chocolate we're doing now. There's definitely a big enough difference, so I'm gonna map it out again. There's one here. You know, I look at this now that I've surrounded this blue, and I'm like, that's very blue. But then I look at the cube and it's also very blue. I'm gonna do the rest of this tan brown while I still have it. So I'm gonna lift you up and we're going to move this back. She's in the way. And we will time lapse this. I don't think I will make another mistake. I'm knocking on wood, like literal wood this time.
One eternity later.
Wow, I bring you to the last day. This could even be considered day 6 if you count today, me recording. But welcome to the last day of this build, if we can even call it that. Here we go, the big reveal, the big reveal. Ah! I think the logo's like this, right? It's angled this way or something. On camera, that looks amazing. Honestly, not gonna lie, Frederic, you really did that. I'm kinda talented. So let's talk about what really went down. So I realized that exporting the footage from yesterday took, I think, 10 hours. That's just me taking the files from this camera to my computer, mind you. So looking back, I didn't need to record all of it. There's 4 sides to this cube, Frederic. 1 is enough. So I did that moving forward, and you can see here, hopefully. This time I was more content with like not being perfect, Frederic. There was one side where I didn't finish the second to darkest dark brown, the second to darkest brown shade, and I basically did all of them again because I'm stupid. But honestly, doing the dirt part is much easier just because you don't have to worry so much about doing like squares. If you remember my Minecraft painting, it was tedious doing the grass, but easy doing the sky because it all blends in. You don't need this to all be different colors for it to be a Minecraft block. Like, the illusion is there. I did it. I see it. I'm content with it. I'm very proud of myself. I definitely messed up a few times, I'm pretty sure. I try to put that into my subconscious, you know, Freudian style. I might try cornstarch next time. I saw a hack, mind you. I don't know if it's true, where you mix cornstarch with your paint to make it thicker and therefore more opaque. Let me know if that actually works, or is it chunky? There is paint thinner in life. There has to be paint thickener. There has to be. But if you're going to paint any of these, definitely do a thickener. Make sure you have thick paint. None of this gush gush sound. You want like a, you know what thickness you want, viscosity level. There was some point where I stopped using the paintbrush for a second. It also dried, and I might keep it like this because it's perfectly flat right now. Can you see? Can you see? Just know that don't paint so long, or if you're going to paint, set a timer every 30 minutes. Maybe if you're watching a TV show, every time the show ends or the video ends, just do some hand exercises like wrists, this, stand up maybe, stretch. My back? Something's wrong. Like, what the fuck is that? There's some parts where there's still like a little stain, like right here. I don't know if you can see the corner. Little green splotches there. I'm not making green paint today. Are you? Are you gonna make a whole batch of green paint just for this one block? Probably not me. No. I'd rather fix it all up before I coat it because I still haven't sprayed it down. I don't know if I want it to be glossy or matte yet. If you want to set it all so that the colors don't fade and that nothing else gets on it, make sure it's perfect beforehand. Like, you can even wrap it up so that it's safe. There was a point when I was painting where like I was noticing every time I flipped, because I would just do this each time, I would see little paint marks that were like dry spots, and I would flip them off, but I'm like, how are those getting on there? And it's because my table's a dirty boy who is very much in need for a clean. So I just use acetone. There's like years of paint on this table, so don't worry, it still gets it off. You try making a perfect square with straight lines 4 different times on all sides. If it's a tiny cube and you're surrounded by all 4 corners and you literally can't mess up anymore, it's difficult. They're not perfect at all. And that's an important part to get right, because if you have like a really wonky line, then it shows, especially when it's the lightest part of the block. I would say focus more on these lines though. Like, make sure your horizontal lines are straight. No one cares about the vertical. And then after 80 hours, how long did this actually take, Frederic, if you're editing this? You will one day have a Minecraft block to put on your shelf and never touch ever again. I'm gonna give myself an achievement. I'm gonna see if I can animate it. Can I do it? Once again, y'all will get to decide what the next build is. So whatever comment has the most likes after like 2 weeks, I'll do it. Within reason, mind you. Don't kill me before I'm 30. It does not have to be Minecraft related. We've done Animal Crossing. I'll do Pokemon as well. Anything that y'all think is creative. Maybe someone can suggest a pixel art Pokemon, because I've been wanting to do that for a while. And that's the end of the video. And that's it. I'm gonna go sleep. I have not had a lot of sleep this past week. Combined with Animal Crossing, I haven't done this in so long and I'm just happy to do it again. Like, I have the most fun doing this and looking back and editing. It's nice to have something tangible that you can decorate with and then ruin all the space you once had. And I'm just happy to be back and do it all over again. So hopefully y'all enjoy them. If you did, give it a like, leave a comment down below about what you want me to build, hopefully. Subscribe, it's free. Click the notification bell because I usually upload on Saturdays, except sometimes like this, you end up recording it on Saturday. And as always, I love you all and everything is less than 3.